What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Know More. Today we're doing something insane. Have you ever wondered how the richest people on the planet just keep getting richer? I mean, these guys could be billions of dollars in debt, and somehow they still end up with more money. It's like they have a cheat code for life, and today, I'm giving you that cheat code. We're going to dive deep into the secret strategies the wealthy use to build and grow their fortunes, even when it looks like they're losing. We're going to break down everything. We'll look at the top 10 richest people in the world, not just their net worth, but their real stories. How they started, the crazy risks they took, and how they turned debt into a powerful weapon. Alright, let's kick things off by looking at the titans, the absolute legends of wealth. First up, we have Bernard Arnault and family. This guy is the king of luxury, overseeing the LVMH empire, which includes brands like Louis Vuitton and Sephora. Next, the man, the myth, the meme lord himself, Elon Musk. We know him for Tesla and SpaceX, but his journey was anything but smooth. In 2008, both companies were on the brink of bankruptcy. He poured his last pennies into them, borrowing from friends and taking on incredible personal debt. Then there's Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon in his garage, a story we all know. But what people forget is the sheer amount of money he had to raise, and the debt Amazon accumulated for years. For a long time, Amazon didn't make a profit. Wall Street was screaming at him to stop spending, but Bezos ignored them. He kept reinvesting every dollar back into the company. So how do you actually get rich? It's not about winning the lottery, it's about changing your entire mindset, especially about money and debt. The first and most important step is to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. This brings us to the concept of good debt versus bad debt. This is probably the biggest secret that separates the rich from everyone else. Bad debt is what most people have. Credit card debt, car loans, money borrowed for things that don't generate income. You also have to get comfortable with taking calculated risks. Playing it safe will never make you rich. Building wealth requires you to step out of your comfort zone. It's scary and you might fail. In fact, you probably will fail a few times, but every failure is a lesson. The internet has completely changed the game. It's created more millionaires in the last 20 years than any other invention in history. First up, becoming a YouTuber or content creator. Look, I'm a prime example of this. It's not easy, and it takes a ton of work, but the upside is literally unlimited. You can earn money from ad revenue, brand deals, merchandise, and affiliate marketing. Next, let's talk about e-commerce and dropshipping. This is a business model where you sell products online without ever holding any inventory yourself. The barrier to entry is incredibly low. You can set up a Shopify store in a single day. Another huge opportunity is in software development and creating SaaS products. If you have a great idea for a service that solves a problem for people or businesses, you can create a recurring revenue stream. This is the holy grail of income. While the internet offers amazing opportunities, let's not forget about the real-world jobs that can make you incredibly wealthy. First on the list is investment banking. This is the world of Wall Street, mergers and acquisitions, and IPOs. The hours are brutal. It's not uncommon to work 100 hours a week, but the pay is astronomical. Next up, becoming a surgeon, especially in a specialized field like neurosurgery or cardiothoracic surgery. The path is incredibly long and demanding, years of medical school, residency, and fellowships, but once you're established, your earning potential is through the roof. Let's talk about high-end sales. I'm not talking about selling clothes at the mall. I'm talking about selling multi-million-dollar items like private jets, yachts, luxury real estate, or enterprise software. In these roles, your income is often commission-based, which means there's no ceiling on what you can earn. Being rich isn't just about buying Lamborghinis and mansions, although that's part of it. The real advantages are the kind of things that create a snowball effect. The biggest advantage is access. When you're wealthy, you get access to deals and opportunities that regular people never even hear about. Another massive advantage is the ability to leverage the best talent in the world. When you have money, you don't have to do everything yourself. You can hire the smartest lawyers, the best accountants, and the most brilliant financial advisors. Freedom is probably the most priceless advantage. When you don't have to trade your time for money to survive, you can do whatever you want. This freedom also allows you to think. You have the mental space to step back, look at the big picture, and identify the next big opportunity. Let's not forget the power of influence. Money buys you a seat at the table. It gives you the ability to influence politics, shape public opinion, and fund projects you believe in. Okay, we've talked about all the amazing things that come with being rich, But it's not all sunshine and private jets. One of the biggest is the issue of trust. When you have a lot of money, it can be incredibly difficult to know who your real friends are. You're constantly wondering if people like you for you, or if they're just after your money. Then there's the pressure to maintain the wealth. There's immense pressure to not only preserve the fortune but to grow it. The fear of losing it all can be even more intense than the fear of never having it in the first place. Raising children in a wealthy environment presents a unique set of challenges. How do you teach your kids the value of hard work and perseverance when they've never had to struggle for anything? Many wealthy parents live in fear of the old saying, the first generation makes it, the second generation spends it, and the third generation loses it. Privacy completely evaporates when you become super rich and famous. Your life becomes public property. You can't just go to the grocery store or a park without being recognized or photographed. This chapter is the absolute core of how the rich get richer. It's all about one thing, buying assets. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. The average person spends their life accumulating liabilities. A fancy car, the latest gadgets, expensive clothes. The rich, on the other hand, are obsessed with accumulating assets. The first is businesses. This is the #1 creator of wealth. Whether it's starting their own company like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos did, or investing in other people's businesses through the stock market, the rich understand that ownership is key. The second major asset class is real estate. When you buy a rental property, you get an asset that does 4 amazing things at once. First, it generates monthly cash flow from the rent. Second, the property value tends to appreciate over time. Third, you get massive tax benefits. And fourth, the tenant is paying down your mortgage for you. The third category is what I'll call paper assets. This includes things like bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. The rich use these assets to preserve their wealth and generate steady, reliable income. This is the secret that might blow your mind. For most of us, debt is a 4-letter word, but for the ultra-rich, debt is one of their most powerful tools. They don't fear debt, they leverage it. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you have $100,000. You could buy one rental property with that cash, or you could use that as a 20% down payment on 5 different properties, borrowing the other $400,000 from the bank. Now, instead of owning one property, you control $500,000 worth of real estate. Another insane way the rich use debt is to avoid paying taxes. This is a strategy called buy, borrow, die. Instead of selling their appreciated assets and paying capital gains tax, they simply borrow against them. They can live off this borrowed money tax-free, because loans are not considered income. Have you ever heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket? The rich live by this rule. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. 7! This isn't just a way to make more money, it's a critical defense strategy. The first is usually their primary business or earned income. The second stream is profit income from businesses they own, but don't actively manage. The third stream is interest income from lending money out. The fourth and fifth streams are often dividend income from stocks and rental income from real estate. The sixth stream is capital gains, which is the profit they make from selling an asset for more than they paid for it. The seventh stream is royalty or licensing income. This comes from selling the rights to use something you've created, like a book, a song, a patent, or a course. We've spent this entire video talking about how to build immense wealth, but what's the point of all that money if the world is still full of extreme poverty? Let's take a moment to look at some of the poorest countries in the world. Places like South Sudan, Burundi, and the Central African Republic have been devastated by conflict, political instability, and climate change. Development isn't just about charity, it's about investment. This is where wealth can have its most profound impact. Imagine the impact of investing in infrastructure like roads, internet access, and reliable electricity in these countries. Building schools and vocational training centers could give an entire generation the tools they need to build a better future. And that is a wrap! We covered a ton today, from the secret debt strategies of billionaires to the hardcore jobs that can make you a fortune. We broke down how to invest in assets, build multiple income streams, and even looked at the dark side of wealth. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you guys think. Drop a comment below and let me know which secret or strategy surprised you the most. Was it the buy, borrow, die tax strategy? Or the idea of using debt as a weapon? If you found this video valuable, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Remember, knowledge is the new currency, and you just made a massive deposit in your account today. Now go out there and start building your empire. I'll see you in the next video.